ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله عز وجل وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم والشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعلنا من الذين يستمعون قولا فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم آمين. وقال سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم وأن هذا صراط مستقيما فاتبعوه ولا تتبعوا السبل فتفرق بكم عن سبيله ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون. الله جل وعلا أيها الإخوة أخوات, He mentions in the Quran وأن هذا صراط مستقيما فاتبعوه, and this is my straight path, so follow it, and do not follow paths that will lead you astray from this path or divide you from this path. And this is what I would have ordained for you, so perhaps you will be of the muttaqun, those that you will ikhwa akhawat, who are pious. Allah Jalla wa ala, you will ikhwa akhawat. He cautions us in the Quran, and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, he cautions us in the Sunnah mutahhara, that there will be fitnah, that there will be fitnah, you and ikhwa akhawat. And know that fitnah, that it strays or cause individuals to stray away from the sirat al-mustaqim, that which Allah Jalla wa Ala commanded His servants to follow. وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ, and this is my straight path, so follow it. And do not follow paths that will lead you astray or lead you away from this path or separate you from the sirat al-mustaqim. So there will be fitnah, you and ikhwa akhawat. And Allah Jalla wa Ala, He will test you, Ya Abdullah. And He will test you, Ya Amatullah. He will test you with fitnah, as He has been testing those that became before us with fitnah. As Allah Jalla wa Ala, He mentions in the Quran, Alif Lam Mim, أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلْيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلْيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Allah Jalla wa ala wal ikhwa. He says in the Quran, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسِ أَن يَتْرَكُوا. Do you think that you're going to believe, or you've left alone and believe and not be tested, not be faced with trials and tribulations? وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Verily have tested those that came before them. Allah Azza wa Jalla has tested those who came before you. فَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا. To see those who are going to be the truthful ones. يَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. And those are going to be those who are the liars, not truthful in their iman. وَالْفِتْنَةِ يَا عِبَادَ. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, He mentioned this fitna in the Quran. And the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the ulama of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah, have explained this fitna, that it means an ibtila' wa imtihan, trials, tests, that you're going to be faced with your ikhwa akhawat. Ibtila' wa imtihan, there will be fitna your ikhwa that will come upon you. لتبين المؤمن الصادق من المنافق, to make it clear, to distinguish who are the ones who are upright, who are sadiq, truthful in their iman and wal ikhwa, truthful in that which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam has sent to this ummah or brought to the ummah, truthful in this, or be amongst the munafiqeen who are deceitful in their iman wa iyad billah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. لتبين القوي الإيمان من الضعيف, to make distinguish or distinct the iman that is qawi, that is strong, from the iman that is da'if, that is weak. So when we find the fitna coming, you and ikhwa, we find the people that they're not truthful in their iman. They're not truthful in their speech and their actions when the trials and the tribulations comes upon them. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. We find where Allah Jalla wa ala wal ikhwa, where He mentions in the Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And from the people, they say that we believe in Allah, we believe in the hereafter. وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. But they are not believers. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They try to deceive Allah, and they try to deceive the believers. وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسِهِمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. But they do not deceive anyone but themselves, but they perceive not. So we find from the people here, you and ikhwa, who say that they believe. They say they're upright upon sunnah. They say they're upright upon the salafiyyah. They claim that they're upon these principles of salafiyyah until the fitna comes. We find from the munafiqeen, they say they're upright upon deen until the fitna comes, until the trials and tribulations of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu was bestowed upon them. وقال سبحانه ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خير أطمأنه به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر للدنيا والآخرة ذلك وهو الخسران المبين. وعلى جل وعلا والإخوة, He mentions in the Quran, and among mankind, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهُ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. And among mankind is he who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it is word, or he's upon the edge, yani he's in doubt. And we find that people, they worship Allah Azza wa Jalla as if they're upon the edge, yani they're in doubt. It's good before them, they are content. This is when they're happy, they're rejoicing. They are content. They are content with the day, but when the fitnah comes, when the trials and tribulations befall them, when the trials and tribulations befall them, he turns back with his face. He loses both in this world and the hereafter. And this is the evident loss. This is the evident loss. So when the fitnah comes, you turn in your faces. But when everything is cool and calm, you rejoice and you're content and you will ikhwa akhawat. The ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah wal ikhwa, they say that al-fitnah, that ibtila' wa imtihan, the trials and tribulations, the test for you, ya mu'min, is of two types. It's broken down into this main. But fitnu shubahat, wa fitnu shahwat. That's the fitnah wal ikhwa that is broken down into two parts. The fitnah shubahat, doubtfulness. This is what caused the fitnah wal ikhwa. Because you, ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, do not understand the principles of your religion. You, Abdullah wa Amatullah, don't study your deen. So when the fitnah comes, you have shubahat, you doubt in your religion. This is what caused you, ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, to sin to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, to commit al-Ma'asiyah, sin and transgression to Allah, as Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyyah he mentioned. Shubahat, doubting in your religion, doubting in your deen. Why? Because the lack of ilm, the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, and you still want to open your mouths and talk about the deen when you don't have the ilm, the lack of knowledge. You have the knowledge and you have the understanding. You still want to open your mouth when fitnah comes. Shubahat. What is the shubahat? Shubahat al-aqidah. Doubtfulness in your belief and you will ikhwa, which leads to shirk and which leads to kufr. Comes fitnah al-khulub في الأنبياء وأولياء والصالحين وفتنة الغلو في القبور, like the fitnah you will ikhwa with ghulu, with the prophets and the messengers, when we find the people worshiping them, and the fitnah of the righteous people, when we find the people worshiping them in their graves. How many people we see in our time, and then of the past falling into this fitnah of ibadah to ghayrillahi jalla jalaluhu, fitnah to shubahat. Why did this happen? Because of lack of ilm. If you would have known about tawheed, and if you would have known about shirk, you would have fell into the fitnah. والفتنة والإخوة والشهوات. Fitnah following your lust and desires. Fitnah following your lust and desires. No matter what the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no matter what the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, you're going to follow that which your heart is inclined to. But your heart is in opposition to what Allah said. And your heart is in opposition to what the message of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said. So you follow your shahwah. You follow your lust and desires. And it causes you to have that akhlaq with Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. It causes you to have that akhlaq with Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Fitnah wal ikhwa. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu has tested the people before us. And He has tested those who came, that He's supposed to came afterwards. That He will test those who come afterwards with al-fitnah, trials and tribulations. And know for a surety, you will ikhwa akhawat. The fitnah that faces in our day and time is that we have callers in the deen about Islam that call to the gates of the hellfire wa a'yadu billah. They call to the gates of the hellfire, as the messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has informed us. And we know from that famous hadith, the hadith of Hudayfa radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. وَقَدْ وَصَفَهُمُ النَّارَ الرَّسُولُ صلى الله عليه وسلم. And the messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has described them to us. بأن دعاة على أبواب جهنم, that they are called to the cause of the hellfire وعياذ بالله. من أطاعهم قطفوه فيها. Whoever follows them, whoever obeys them, will fall right into the hellfire with the والإخوة. قيل صفهم لنا يا رسول الله. It was said to him, describe them to us, O Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال هم قوما من جلدان يتكلمون بألسنتنا. They are from your people. They are from your skin. And they speak your language. دعاة على أبواب جهنم. Calling to the gates of the hellfire. They speak your language. They are your people. These are the people here, you ikhwa who are calling to the hellfire. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. They are the workers of shaitan. They get you away from your deen, you ikhwa. يدعون حزبه ليكون من أصحاب السعير. As Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, He mentions about shaitan, that he calls his hizb. He calls his parties. ليكون من أصحاب السعير. So they will be the dwellers of the hellfire. وعياذ بالله. وقال سبحانه أولئك يدعون إلى النار. They are those who call to the hellfire. والله يدعو إلى الجنة والمغفرة بإذنه. And Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, He calls to the Jannah and maghfirah and forgiveness by His permission, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Know for sure, you al-ikhwa, that is fitna in our day and time. And it'll take the one who is upright upon his deen. It'll take the one who is upright upon Salafiyyah, upon the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the way it was practiced understood by the Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, to void themselves of this fitna. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, the message of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in the hadith, أيها الإخوة, that was reported by Ahmad and Tirmidhi, والدارمي وأبي داود رحمهم الله تعالى. When the Prophet صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم, he said, أيها الإخوة أخوات, إننا أخاف على أمتي أئمة المضلين. Very I fear upon my ummah, the leaders who are astray. The leaders who are astray, I fear is upon my ummah. Ummati أئمة المضلين, those who are astray of your leaders. The Prophet ﷺ feared of this upon the ummah. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, as we mentioned with Sheikh Rasul al-Fawzan, he mentioned, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّهُ لَا يُنَجِّي مِنَ الْفِتْنَةِ إِلَّا تَمَسَّ بِكِتَابِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. There's no way to save yourself from the fitna except by clinging to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our Sheikh Rabi' al-Hadi al-Madkhali, he mentioned about a hadith of Irbad ibn Sariyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He said this particular hadith, that you will ikhwa, is a makhraj. It's a makhraj min al-fitna. It is a way out from fitna. When the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, فَإِنَّهُ مَعِشْ مِنْكُمْ فَصَيْرَ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا عَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي عضوا عليها بالنواجذ وإياكم محدثات أمور فإن كل محدثة بدعة. When the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أيها الإخوة, he said that those who live long after me, will see many differences of opinion. What did the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say? What is the makhraj min al-fitna? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, عليكم بسنتي, upon you is my sunnah, وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي, and the sunnah of the right guide of khulafa that came after me. عضوا عليها بالنواجذ, hold on to it with your motive and be aware of innovation. So this is the way of makhraj min al-fitna. This is the way out from fitna, you with ikhwa. This is the way out from the trials and tribulations in every aspect of our life. And this is the way out of fitna when dealing with the du'at, upon the du'at, those who are calling you to the gates of the hellfire. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِنَّهَا تَتَكُنَّ الْفِتْنَةِ قِيلَ وَمَا مَخْرَجْ مِنْهَا. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that there will be fitna. And it was asked, what is the way out from that fitna? Ya Rasulullah, قَالَ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, the book of Allah. When you don't stick to the book of Allah, you will increase your fitna. You will increase the trials and tribulations upon you. You will continue to have shubahat, doubtfulness, and following your shahwat, your lust and desires. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. And Sheikh Salih Fawzan, he mentions بَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ. He mentions وَكَذَلِكَ تَمَسَّكَ بِمَا كَانَ عَلَيْهِ سَلَفٌ الصَّالِحُ. And likewise, sticking to that what the Salaf was upon, clinging to it, of this ummah. كما قال Imam Malik رحمه الله تعالى, It's a great Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi mentioned, لا يصلح آخر هذه أمة إلا ما أصلح أولها. Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi, he said that the latter part of this ummah will not be rectified except that which has rectified the first part of this ummah. It will not be rectified in you with ikhwa akhawat, except that which has rectified the first part of this ummah. Ya subhanallah. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. Our Lord, let not our hearts deviate from the fitnah as you have guided us, and grant us mercy from you. هذا وما عندي وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين كالمبتدع والمشركين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد ولي الصالحين ورب الطيبين وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, أيها الإخوة أخوات, إنما أخاف على أمتي, verily I fear upon my ummah, I fear upon my ummah. He صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said that he fears upon his ummah أئمة المضلين, the astray leaders, أيها الإخوة أخوات. And verily, barakallahu fikum, that we're going to address an issue to keep this community in our abroad away from the fitnah, away from the trials and tribulations, as our ulama Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah has forewarned of this fitnah and known about the fitnah. And as the ulama say, or as the Talab al mentioned, that the ulama, they see a fitnah before it even comes. And we experience the fitnah and say that was a fitnah, subhanallah. Instead of taking heed to the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Where you and ikhwa akhawat, the fitnah of our day and time is our brother, Hada Allah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him, by the name of Abu Zubair, Shadid Muhammad, Hadahu Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him, and keep him and guide him to that which is correct. But our brother, you and ikhwa akhawat, is in the midst of a da'wah salafiyya, fooling the people as though he's upon the minhaj of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. But verily, you and ikhwa akhawat, he's upon the minhaj of the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. He is not upon the minhaj of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And the reason why you, Ya Abdullah, have doubt in your mind, because you have shubahat and shahwat, because you don't study. You don't understand the usul of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. You don't understand the usul of your Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to you. Verily, this individual, Shadid Muhammad, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive him and guide him. This individual said that the Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, that they differed in Aqidah. This is his belief, that the Sahaba, those whom Allah Jalla Jalaluhu was pleased with, that they differed in the belief in Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Verily, ayyuhal ikhwa akhawat, this is khatir. This is something that's extremely dangerous. This is something that's extremely dangerous. And it should be something that is implanted in your heart, that you love the Aqeedah of Islam more than you love your own selves. The Sahaba different in Aqeedah wa iyadu billah. What does this methodology do, ya you with ikhwah? This methodology of believing that the Sahaba different in Aqeedah opens the door for you to cooperate with every Jama'at. That we excuse one another, that we different. We apart one another, that which is different, and cooperate with one another, and that which we agree upon. This is the methodology of the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. This is the methodology of probably his mentor, and Allah knows best, al-Majariyyah. This methodology causes you to be amongst those who cooperate with the Jama'at al-Tabligh and the Sufiyun who believe that Allah Jalla Jalaluhu fi kulli makan. Allah is everywhere. This methodology causes you to cooperate with the Ash'ariyah, those who deny some of the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah Jalla Jalaluhu mentions that He has a hand, and they say His hands mean quwwah, you're going to cooperate with this? This methodology causes you to cooperate with them. And this is why we see this individual, Shadeed Muhammad, in the Masjid, in the masjid, where he's an imam, where the people are from the Ash'ariyah. That's because this is what this Aqidah does. It causes you to have disbelief in Allah, cooperate with people who have disbelief in Allah, because we say the Sahabas different Aqidah. The Sahabas did not differ in Aqidah, you was Ikhwa. The Aqidah of the Sahaba was one. The Aqidah of Islam is one. And this Sheikh Saleh, Ibn Abdul Aziz al-Shaykh, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, he mentioned that it's haram to be a muqallid in the affairs of Aqidah. It is haram for you to be a blind follower in the affairs of Aqidah, because the Aqidah of Islam is wadih, it is clear. This individual, Shadeed Muhammad Hadahullah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him. He downplays the books of the ulama of the past. He downplays the books of the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah in the past, the books of Aqaid, such as Shaykh al-Islam, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, rahmatullahi alayhi, that he believes that these particular books will not change the people, will not change the people. The books of Usul al-Thalatha, the books of Kitab al-Tawheed. He mentioned these things, and I heard with my own ears, but from all people. These particular books, that they won't change the individual, but barely we need to go into other things. You need to stop being a counselor, ya Shadeed. Stop being a counselor and follow the way of the Anbiya and the Rusul. But barely these particular books did not just change individuals, but change the whole peninsula of Saudi Arabia. Not just individuals. Hadahullah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. Follow the methodology of the Anbiya and the Rusul. This individual, Shadeed Muhammad, Hadahullah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him to Salafiyah. He's an individual that you will Ikhwa that downplays the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, takes you, Ya Abdullah, away from the scholars. That's just their opinion about me. That's just their opinion about me. These individuals such as Sheikh Rabi' Ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, the Imam of Jahl wa Ta'dil fi Aqlina, the Imam of Jahl wa Ta'dil, of praise and disparagement, recognized by their A'immah, said not to take knowledge from this individual. And we are fools to keep listening to him. Why? Because he himself, Shadeed Muhammad, and you can find it with Salafi Talk, he himself, said, after his so-called apology to our brothers at Mecca wa Salafiyah, to our brothers who are upon sound Aqidah, that the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah bears witness that they are upon Aqidah of Sahihah and their methodology, the methodology of Sahihah. After his fake apology to them, he mentioned in this particular writing that I am not experienced in giving da'wah. He mentions this. Then you have the likes of Sheikh Ubayd Abdullah al-Jabri, and Sheikh Rabi' al-Madkhali, and Sheikh Muhammad al-Madkhali, telling you not to take knowledge from him. He's telling you about experience, and they tell you not to take knowledge from him. And you still be fooled and listen to this individual. Wallahi, what I'm finna Kaaba, you with Ikhwa. The only reason why we are addressing these issues, because it's issues that are affecting the people. And it's from the methodology of Ahl Sunnah to make it clear to the people who's on the haqq and who's on the batil. Although we have individuals that are taking care of the situation, walillahi alhamd, those who are greater than me, the likes of Abu Hasan Malik, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, the likes of Abu Yusuf Khalifa, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, the likes of Anwar Wright, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, and Dawud Adib and Hafiz Somali, and other than them from the Tulab al-Ilm in America, doing the right thing, going to Ahl al-Ilm, going to the people of knowledge. Anyone, ikhwa, akhawat, is upon you to learn your deen. The only reason why we might catch feeling, because we don't understand the book of Allah and the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We should catch feeling when somebody's in opposition to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's upon you, you al-ikhwa, akhawat, to stick to these tulab al-ilm here in America. Those who connect themselves with Ahl al-ilm. It's upon you to stick to them. It's upon you to stick to the kibar ulama. And don't be duped and fooled by Shadeed Muhammad, who's taking you away from the scholars of Islam. Stick to the ulama. Don't listen to my words. This is Ahl al-ilm. هذا وما عندي وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وأقيموا الصلاة.